Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. In this episode I'm going to concentrate on two things really. First of all, we're going to look at the shape and arrangement of the track bed in this area here at this triangle junction, and secondly I'm just going to finalise the alignment of the track bed over the bridge here towards the station. Hi, I'm Warren Brandon, welcome to another Linleys video. I think one of the first bits I'm going to do is just kind of clear the decks here, get rid of this old burner tower thing, clear some of the rubbish and debris here, move the bits of steel out of the way, move the track sections and just see what the alignment is through here. I need to get the height right as well. Working out the basic alignment of this off ramp should be quite straightforward really with this bridge. Need to get the height right, but the return loop curve needs to not be too tight a radius and of the right camber and height coming off the bridge here and round into that intersection point just there. This track's really expensive and I just leave it lying around. It's not really very good, is it? I know the weather's turned, it has been very wet recently, but it's now snowing. Oh well. As a basic start to the off-ramp, I propose to cut in a set of points just around here, somewhere there, giving me the right sort of angle off to go down the line. I'll have to be a little bit careful about the arrangement of this curve. There's a bit of a straight part of the points here and here. Don't think I can do too much about that, but this inner curve needs to be fairly continuous and smooth, and the off route nice and in line down the track there. I will have to be careful with the alignment of the bridge abutment here to allow for the right curve off, to miss that junction pipe, to allow sufficient curve coming back this way, height and various. But I think, having done some thinking about this, I think this is about the right sort of position. Now about the detail of the clearance height from the top of the track to the underside of the bridge deck. I've never found a definitive piece of guidance about what the clearance should be for a G-scale, so over the years I've kind of made it up. The lowest height of clearance I've got so far is that tunnel there, which is a clearance of 200 mil from the railhead to the underside of the tunnel. The other ones I've been a bit more generous at about 260, 250, 260 mil. So I think I ought to adopt a nice clearance of perhaps about 240 as a standard, and that is exactly 240 as it stands at the moment. So that's pretty good. It really is snowing now. Not like you guys would say in Canada, proper snow, but for England this is snow. I'm just adding in here a horizontal tie bar, just temporarily loose at the moment, to help stabilise this edge so that I can pull in the curve at that side against the fence. Okay, with that locked in position now, I can now pull this bar on my left here back and form the beginning of a nice easy curve. Yeah, that's a nice curve. I like that. Might still be a little bit high at the end there, but that's an easy curve. Well, I don't have anywhere near enough steel to fabricate the entire section here, so I'll have to measure up and order some more. But that gets a good first line going, doesn't it? Well, the other part of the Y junction is the return curve coming back into this running line. I do need to be a little bit careful about the arrangement of this track layout here. There's a natural straight part, and that may align quite nicely with this straight part of the points, but does that give me enough curve option to get the curve in to come back over here? I don't know. Another factor I have to bear in mind is the door opens, and if I have any mechanism equipment here to do the points, move the points, I need to allow for the door to open to about here. So it's going to be difficult to have this very much further around here. However, another option is allowing for the door problem. I actually push this quite a way further along here. I know this will have to change, but I can work on that. This is a nice straight section for this section of the points here. That comes off nicely and does actually provide a nice line around here. However, these points are fragile. It's a walking path route. Can I cope with the mechanism here for the changing the points somewhere near the door? Well, that would fit there, and in fact the door is way behind where the points are, and stepping over it, I just have to be careful, don't I? I don't know how I would cope with the mechanism here. I could have a flush mechanism, couldn't I? That would certainly give me a very easy curve around back from the branch line. I would have to change the step arrangement, but I can cut that out and realign that. That's easy. Well, that is a nice broad radius. I do have to convince myself that putting a set of points there in line with the shed door isn't a problem. It's not as if they go in there in out a lot, but I do drag the mower across. I think to give myself options, open up sort of capacity for doing what I need to do here, I'm going to take out that top step brick, cut these two out so that's clear, and so I can just begin with the steel that I'll buy. Just begin to cut in here a nice easy curve and just see how that feels as well. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. I think that's what I'll do. I might actually even cut out some of that concrete there to begin nestling in the steels. I've got a bit of steel I can work on. I'll order some more, get some of these cut in. Another dimension to the worry I've got is, does my electric welder, my old electric welder, still work? It was giving a bit of grief the last time I used it. It worked, but unreliable, kept cutting out. So will it work for me this winter? We'll see, won't we? Just to start off with, I've got my stone cutting disc in. Oh, it's a whole big sized brick. Look at that. Gee, well, that came out okay. That's the second one out. That's good. Okay. If I get this piece of track in, oh, somewhere about there. Is that about right? Yeah. There maybe. Or back here. That's about right. I still have this dilemma about this set of points being pretty well in the line of fire for walking. Not great, because these are a little bit more fragile than basic track. Do I, don't I? Do I, don't I? That's a good compromise, actually. Okay, so maybe that's a good compromise. If the points are round about there, with the blades, the fragile bits just there, it's in a position so that it's not in the main line of walking into the shed, nor is it a main line of walking when I walk up and around to go around to the side of the shed. So actually that's a good compromise. Any further this way, the blades of the points are more in line with the shed door, and any more this way, the blades are more in line with that. Maybe that is a good compromise then. And with the track curve coming across and around here, I've still got the option of a reasonable sort of step piece of paving here to replicate this coming round, and that's a bit of a kink in it, but you know, the path is it's a dynamic shape, isn't it? Yep, I think I will take one more stone block out, because these probably need to lift up a little bit to match up with the height of this, like I was doing before. So I'll try and take one more out. The other two came out okay. God, I didn't put them in to take out in a rush, did I? No dab and do's, lots of bedding and firm grouting. God, dear. There we are. Oh, good. Made a bit of a mess of this though, haven't I? Never mind. Can make it good again. Also, what I hadn't explained before, but as part of my working out, is that this curve, this arc, will be of a radius of 2.5 meters. It's the standard minimum radius pretty well that I've got everywhere, including the loop there and the loop around the shed, etc. So this is the centre point of the arc, 2.5 meters. So it all seems to line up based on this point. Excellent. That couldn't be better, actually. Very pleased with that alignment. About 20 millimeters, not quite right, with this rough placement. I've just anchored this position of this piece of steel in here, this position, with these very primitive posts, so that I can retain the nice curve that I set up when I had this steel tethered and to go further on, because I'm going to use this for this bit up here. I'm going to use this bit of steel on the inside curve following that 2.5 meter radius to spring from that point off the running line round to here. So to allow this bit of angle line, which is pretty stiff and rigid, to form a nice curve, all I need to do is angle grind cuts every 150-200 mil on the flat part, so that I can easily bend it round. It'll then need supporting even more, of course, but I'll do that as part of the substructure. But before I swap my stone cutting disc on my angle grinder to the metal cutting, I'm going to nibble away a little bit of this concrete track bed, just to see what's below. From the side I can see that I've got a cross tie here of angle iron, and I think I'll be able to leave that in place to support this piece here. But this piece of angle iron from here to here, I think I'll be able to cut and spring out as long as I can cut some notches on the inside. Right, I've swapped my disc over, so this is the metal cutting disc. It's the only one I've got, and it's slightly used. Hopefully it's enough for today. I have also had another nibble and fiddle with this step point and taken a little bit more concrete away from here, just so that I've got a bit more flexibility with this angle line. So the next thing is going to cut here, cut at an angle, and begin springing this out. Is that clear? Oh yes, that's good. That's free. So now, if I chop just this bottom flange every 200 mil or so, I'll be able to spring this round and begin the curve. That's going. Good. Got to make it even. Got to pull it out just a little bit more, step by step by step. That is coming out well. Now hopefully, with the points in, just about there, that is now really beginning to shape up. Look at that, hey? Come on. Just maybe a little bit more curve just here. I am really pleased with that. That's the real beginning of this next bit. So, next I'm going to do is the beginnings of the notches along that straight bit of angle iron, so that I can bend it round and get it in place, just to see what it looks like. Now, it's very important cutting steel, it doesn't snatch and grab. So although I've not actually fixed this piece of steel down, it's a big piece of steel, I've backed it up so that it won't snatch and move. Okay, now this is looking good, if I could see. Dusty glasses. I've just laid in the first part of this curve in and just clamped this up roughly for the time being, just to get the idea of that curve, and I'm really pleased with the way that's going to look. Haven't got the height right yet. Yeah, I've only cut to here so far, and I think I need to continue the curve around to at least halfway across. I can have a curved bridge. I mean, it makes a difference, does it really? Curved bridge, straight bridge, do what I want, can't I really? I'd rather the track be a nice easy gradient and curve. So I shall just push that a little bit further along there. So yes, I think I will just spring that round, spring this curve round a little bit more. 1, 2, 3 more cuts, so that I can join in with the alignment of this other piece of track work coming in here. Wonderful. So that's the 2.5 metre radius from my post, marker post. It's about right. Not sure about the height though. Might need to be slightly higher, don't know. But that's pretty good. So I'll just use that as the guide for the curve all the way around. And in fact, it's pretty good as it is. Yep, that's pretty good. Don't need these on now, do I? I think I will leave it there for now. I'll have a bit of a tidy up and leave it for today. I've got enough steel just to begin the curve here to probably about where the bridge is. So My next job, another day, will be to cut in there and around, and I've got the same job to do with those points over there actually. Cut in there and begin the steelwork alignment for here as well. Good progress, happy with that. Thank you for following along, appreciate your support. If you have any comments, suggestions, please do convey them in the usual space. I might not have explained all of what's kind of going on in my mind about this, so some decisions I've made based on kind of context stuff that I'm familiar with, but do offer some comment, advice, guidance. Very much appreciate that. So until the next time, from the Garden Railway here, thanks for watching and bye for now.